That was an expensive.
Call this regular meeting of order. Call roll.
Mayor Quirrell.
Here.
Councilmember Swanson.
Here.
Mabry.
Here.
Fabia.
Here.
Newman.
Here. Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any public comment? We'll go to the approval of minutes. We'll go to Councilmember Newman.
Thank you, Mayor. I make a motion that we approve the minutes from our regular council meeting on Monday, February 5th, 2018.
Second.
Motion's been seconded. Any corrections? Call roll.
Member Swanson.
Aye.
Mabry.
Aye.
Fabia.
Aye.
Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Quirrell.
Aye. We'll go to approval of invoices to City Clerk Nelson.
This period we have in the Department of Accounts and Finances invoices totaling $163,936.87. In the Department of Streets and Public Improvements, we have invoices totaling $150,874.25. In the Department of Public Safety, we have invoices totaling $111,481.27. And finally, in the Department of Public Property and Utilities, we have invoices totaling $634,826.18. Mayor, all council members present have confirmed their reviews of all invoices and now are submitted for disposition.
I make a motion that we approve the invoices as presented.
Second.
Any comments or corrections? Call roll.
Member Swanson.
Aye.
Mabry.
Aye.
Fabia.
Aye.
Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Quirrell.
Aye. We'll go to regular business and City Clerk Nelson.
Okay, next we have Resolution R-18-015. This is a resolution rescinding the previously approved resolutions as indicated on the agenda. These were all resolutions that were approved at the February 5th meeting. We discovered a error on the amount of abatement for the tax levy, so they're being rescinded by virtue of this resolution. This has been reviewed by all council members and is valid for disposition.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution R-18-015, which is rescinding previously approved resolutions.
Second.
Motion's been seconded. Do you want to say anything there? Okay. Call roll.
Member Swanson.
Aye.
Mabry.
Aye.
Fabia.
Aye.
Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Quirrell.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is Resolution R-18-016. This is a resolution now approving the abatement of 2017 tax levy in the various categories as shown on the agenda. So essentially it's reinstating the incorrect, correctly reinstating the incorrect resolutions from last time. Mayor, this has been reviewed by all council members and is submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve Resolution R-18-016, which is abating the 2017 tax levy.
Second.
Motion's been seconded. Any comments? Call roll.
Okay. Member Swanson.
Aye.
Mabry.
Aye.
Fabia.
Aye.
Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Quirrell.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is Ordinance O-18-001. This is the second and final reading for an ordinance amending City Code, Chapter 9, adding new Article 12, addressing truancy. This has been reviewed by all council members and is submitted for disposition. Yeah, second and final reading.
I make a motion that we approve Ordinance O-18-001, amending the City Code, Chapter 9, Article 12 under truancy, second and final reading.
Second.
Motion's been seconded. Any comments? Call roll.
Member Swanson.
Aye.
Mavry.
Aye.
Fabia.
Aye.
Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is ordinance O-18-002. This is the second and final reading for an ordinance amending City Code, Chapter 3, adding new Article 17, establishing a Public Arts Commission. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this ordinance and is submitted for disposition.
I make a motion that we approve ordinance O-18-002, amending city code, establishing an arts district. I'm sorry, establishing a public arts commission.
Second.
Motion been seconded. Any comments? Call roll.
Councilmember Swanson.
Aye.
Mavry.
Aye.
Fabia.
Aye.
Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is ordinance O-18-003. This is amending the budget for fiscal year 2017-18. This is the first reading of this ordinance. It has been reviewed by all council members and is submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve ordinance 0-18-003 and advance it to the second reading.
Second.
Motion has been seconded. Before we go to comments, I'll turn over to Rachel.
Thank you. So typically we review the budget around 6 months after the fiscal year. This is a little later than that just because we had a lot of other things going on. But we did make some changes. All the changes to the amended budget are highlighted in yellow. However, don't get overwhelmed when you see all that yellow. It was simply, a lot of the changes are small, but since we were doing it, we just went ahead and did everything that we could. But I'll just touch on a few of the big changes that prompted the amendment to the budget. A couple of the big ones are, first of all, the overtime costs for both the fire department and police department personnel, and that was largely due to unforeseen circumstances in both of those departments that caused some extra overtime. So we were over budget in those line items. We have increased that. I'm only going to touch on the expenses here, but there's also revenue that came in to offset those. So overall, we're basically at the same point we were when the budget was approved. We had some extra equipment costs in the police department due to for the installation of the squad cars. I guess I'm going to talk about some revenue too. The fire roof improvement is postponed until next year, so that amount was reduced in capital projects. The biggest expense that prompted the change in the amended budget, and we discussed this at a previous meeting, was the capital projects line item in the street department. This was due to the state's discrepancy with their MFT funds and us being required to use $100,000 of our general fund to offset the MFT costs. And we passed those resolutions a couple months ago, so there's $100,000 there. There was a little increase in the call-out pay for the street department and the wages because call-out pay was not included when that was originally budgeted. The planning department, you'll see a reduction there, and that was since Brian left, the absence of him has caused a reduction in the expenses for that account. In administration, there's increased legal fees, and that's due to some ongoing issues that we've had as well, that we've had to increase our legal fees. And then we also had additional revenue in our economic development fund for lot sales that wasn't budgeted. So those are just some of the high points, and that's all I have. If you have any questions.
Rachel, if I could, a quick question. I apologize, I'm going to take this home and study this. There's a lot of papers here, but one of the projects we had was, I think, on Miles Court to begin some
Engineering.
Did that get started, or is that still in the works, or is that
So that's still in the works. It'll be completed next fiscal year. But yes, that was part of the project, water, sewer, and then streets. We're working on our fiscal year 19 budget, and that's included in there as well to complete the work.
Okay, was any work done this year on that, or it's going to be?
It's being started.
Very good.
Any other comments? Call roll.
Member Swanson.
Aye.
Mavry.
Aye.
Fabia.
Aye.
Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye. Thank you, Pete. Now we'll go to city manager report.
So just a couple things. First, I have our monthly financial report that we've started getting, and you'll see these every month. This is through December 2017. If If you look at the first page, we've added the percentages to that. So if you look at the general fund, as of December, we were at about 86% of our revenue and 80% of our expenses. You can also see the same for, we need to add percentages to that page, I just noticed that. But we have information on all the enterprise funds in there. We also have the year-to-date. As of the December 2017, we're within all of our, or we're staying within budget. There's still that spike in administration, and that's due to that transfer station, which has been fixed and will be reflected on the next report. If you look at there's the sales tax report, and you'll see that the numbers for December were very similar, they're almost identical to the numbers from December 2016. And then at the back page on this report, we have our monthly totals for Bucom Fire Department and Police Department. For Bucom, they had a total incoming calls of 580, Fire Department 160, Police Department 373, and they had 9,700 miles patrolled. Are there any questions on this report?
Are we no longer doing the hotel motel?
That is one of the things they have on their list to include in here as well, but yeah, it's not in there yet. You can see that, we just don't have the comparison graph because that's a little more difficult, but that is included on page 2, I think it is. Let me go look here. Nope, not page 2. Oh, you know, it's going to be, we have to separate it out from the other revenues because it is in the general fund, so we'll make sure that gets separated out. Any other questions on the report? Okay, a couple other just quick updates to let everyone know we're completing interviews for our police chief recruitment process. Those are ongoing, but that process is currently taking place. And then we're also working on the budget for fiscal year 18-19. So department heads have submitted all their requests, and we're going through those now. And we're still planning on having the budget planning session with the council on March 19th at 6 o'clock, and that's before our regular city council meeting at 7. That's all I have.
Thank you, Rachel. I got a couple things under my heading. I got a couple of board appointments. The first one is Danielle Selevsky on the Princeton Pedestrian Bicycle Commission.
I make a motion that we appoint Danielle Selevsky to fill an unexpired term ending June 30th, 2019.
Second.
Motion's been seconded. Comments? Call roll.
Councilmember Swanson.
Aye.
Mabry.
Aye.
Fabia.
Aye.
Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye. And then to the Princeton Public Arts Commission, Chuck Major, Chris Conklin, Cindy Olson, Sally Ziering, Rick Brooks, Marcy Jagers, and Jack Olson.
I make a motion that we approve the following to the Princeton Public Arts Commission. Chuck Major, term ending April 30th, 2019. Chris Coughlin, term ending April 30th, 2019. Cindy Olson, Sally Ziering, Rick Brooks, all ending terms on April 30th, 2020. Marcy Jaggers and Jack Olson's terms ending April 30th, 2021.
Second.
Motion's been seconded. Comments? Call roll.
Member Swanson.
Aye.
Mabry.
Aye.
Fabia.
Aye.
Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye. We're going to have our third Economic Development Summit on March 29th. This one will concentrate on the retail portion of our economy. We have 2 speakers that are lined up. It also will be held at the ACE Distribution Center. Do we have a time? 11 o'clock. So that'll be 11 to 1:30. 11 to 1. Also, over the next 2 meetings, we are going to recognize city volunteers, people that sit on our commissions and our committees, people that help the city out, watering flowers and plants on Main Street. We're going to recognize them over 2 meetings because there's quite a number of volunteers. But we're going to get them in here, recognize them, give them a token of our appreciation, and their vote was taken. So again, that's the next 2 meetings. Then also, we've got, I checked the Bureau County's website today, and I noticed that they have the listings of all the town hall meetings for the sales tax referendum that's coming up on March 20th, but they don't have Princeton's listed. I'm not sure why that is, but so February 27th at the courthouse at 5:30, and February 28th at the Princeton Library at 6:30, and I would encourage everyone to get out and get to one of those meetings and hear what they have to say. Yeah, February 27th at the courthouse, that's at 5:30. And then the next night, February 28th, at the Princeton Library, and that starts at 6:30. Any old business?
If I could, Mayor, under old business, I had a resident call me this morning that had water in their basement, but upon going there and checking their basement, it was not sewage backup, but it was both their sump pumps were not functioning. And you think about this, a sump pump may sit there for 6 or 8 months and not be started because there's no water going into the pit, and it's just a matter of unfortunately, the little bit of jiggling and wiggling, and the sump pump started, and their 2 inches of water went down right away. But I would just encourage residents that check your sump pump. I went online to look, and one of the ways you can check a sump pump easily is to take a 5-gallon bucket of water, pour it into your pit, and see then if the float will kick on your sump pump, because most of these sump pumps haven't ran, and obviously now we're in the crunch time where we've still got some frozen ground, we got thawing, and we got rain, and so we want to make sure that people check their sump pumps. It's a proactive thing.
Great point. Any other old business? Any new business? Any public comment? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting and to go to our next meeting.
Make a motion that we adjourn our regular meeting tonight and then reconvene for our regular meeting on Monday, March 5th, 2018 at 7 o'clock at City Hall.
Second.
Motion second, call roll.
Member Swanson.
Aye.
Avery.
Aye.
Fabia.
Aye.
Newman.
Aye.
Mayor Querem.
Aye, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you for attending.